Welcome to the Seeker to Seeker podcast. I'm your host Simeon, and I bring you conversations with some of the world's most insightful and inspiring seekers. Today's guest is Shaykh Burhanuddin Herrmann. Shaykh Burhanuddin is a contemporary mystic of the Sufi tradition. He has undergone the classic dervish training, keeping an intense daily practice of meditation and prayers under the direct guidance of his master. He has gone through extreme spiritual retreats in solitude and has integrated the teachings of his master in all aspects of his life, spiritual, personal and otherwise. When Shaykh Burhanuddin was 18 years old, he invited to his hometown in Germany Maulana Sheikh Nazim, the Grand Master of the Naqshbandi order. When he saw the Grand Master for the first time, Shaykh Burhanuddin fainted in the middle of the street. Henceforth, he was constantly at his beloved master's side for 35 years, accompanying him around the world and spreading Sufi wisdom. Shaykh Burhanuddin Herrmann, being a master of an ancient spiritual order, and me being a novice seeker who belongs to no official tradition whatsoever, made our conversation all the more thought-provoking. Our discussion therefore depicts both the early and advanced stages of the spiritual life. It delves deep into the question of walking your path alone or seeking guidance from a master. We also discuss the inherent polarity of life and of one's personality, and how one can develop a healthy attitude towards that polarity. We discuss the importance of simplifying one's life and clearing up one's priorities, and also why the relationship one has to one's partner and to one's parents is so crucial for personal flourishing. Shaykh Burhanuddin and I recorded this conversation nearly a year ago, but due to the twists and turns of life, I have only been able to edit and release it now. And really listening to our discussion from the distance of time, I find much wisdom in the Shaykh's words that I missed at the time we met. In fact, I recognize many of the lessons I have had to learn over the last year were already present in the Shaykh's words to me, though I did not have the ears to hear them at the time. That's all to say that the words of great spiritual teachers are, as we all know, infinitely deep. They continue to live on in us, and one understands from them only as much as one is ready to hear. I hope this conversation brings you too some of the words you need in your life right now. Please remember to share, like and subscribe to support the Seeker to Seeker project, and to check out this video's description for links to Shaykh Burhanuddin Herrmann's work. I would greatly appreciate that. And thank you. I hope you enjoyed this conversation. So, just to tell you, the way that I've been exposed to Sufism, maybe, is through poetry. So initially I read the Rubaiyat, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, of Omar Khayyam. And then this book, which is the Conference of the Birds, which is such beautiful poetry, but it's not only beautiful poetry, it's also so deep in wisdom. And so that has been my introduction to Sufism. And I see it as a tradition that's very full of passion, different from Eastern traditions such as Buddhism. I think in that, again, it seems to me more passion-driven understanding of God. I also find it very interesting how in Sufism, the Sufi refer to God as the beloved. This is something, again, that I find very interesting. So I wanted to ask you, what would you say is the main characteristic or flavor of Sufism that makes it different to everything else, every other teaching, essentially?
Well, it is easy. There is every year an invisible competition of who are the masters of love. No? And the crown is going to Sufism. So the main thing is love. That is the purpose. No? That is the way we share our life. So of course the source is the beloved. He is the lover and the beloved. Yeah. And in your life, in everyone's life, what are you looking for? More than love. Yeah. If you have everything, but you got not love, you have no one to love and you do not feel beloved, what you're going to do with it. So we have been infused by this divine love. And for this reason we are looking for it. We are looking for the source, because we are coming out from that source of love. So we have this incredible longing, this incredible search, because who is searching? What is searching? For what you are searching? And everyone's normal man's life, normal woman's life, the first they are searching is for a couple, isn't it? Because they want to share, they want to find love, they want to find someone to love, and they want to find someone to be beloved, right? And you have to learn, love is complex, it's not easy. Well, this is maybe a difference. I don't see it as a difference. It is just a question of what you focus on,
And the image of God, or how you personally and also Sufism in general sees God, is it a certain image, or is it something that you can never know, you can never define, or does it have certain qualities?
You cannot define it, for the simple reason the mind is not the one who gives the answers. It is not the one who will make you to embrace everything in your life. Life is the doubter. The mind is the doubter. It's the questioner, it's the researcher. It's the creator also. But the heart is the answerer. And so some things you cannot question. You cannot ask how the source looks like. If you meet it, if you will ever have that permission, that level to meet, it will be the end of all of what you imagine. It will be the end of all what you felt before. It is not that you meet and you associate like people think, It's not like that. It will turn everything to its origin. And you will meet a power, you will meet a perfection, you will meet an intelligence which you cannot comprehend it. It's like there has been a scientist who invented the atomic bomb, and he wanted to know how is the power of the atomic bomb, and he presses the button, but he cannot tell anybody after how it will be. And the same is like this. You cannot tell it. There is not a way to tell it. Some things you can tell. Some things you cannot. This belongs to the things you cannot tell. How is the divine? You cannot tell that. So the closest we can say is in poetry. And this is why you find the strongest poets among Sufism. In Buddhism, for example, there is very little poetry. Because Buddhism is not about love. It's about truth. So they go together, but at the end, the truth has a sister, and her name is love. So no way from which door you enter, it doesn't matter. But you will finally come into this mystery, the mystery of creation, the mystery of life, which is beyond what we can really tell. The poetry is the closest But can you translate poetry? Yeah. Can you really make it available for everyone? No. Yeah. Also in poetry there is a thing you cannot define. No?
Yeah.
Or music, it's the same. Can you translate music? Can you say, I met music? No. But you can experience it. So this is the same. No?
Yeah. And so let's say in traditions like Buddhism, where you have meditation, such as mindfulness meditation, which I practice, I think a lot of it is aimed at putting you in a state which is kind of central to your consciousness, and you're neither angry nor calm, neither happy nor sad, but you're observing all of this. And so, but are you talking about a different state where you are love, so you are entirely in love? And so are these two separate states? What I'm meaning to ask is, I think that in Buddhism, and they would say that, yes, you do have love, and you have perhaps the opposite of love, which is hate, but in the middle, something that is before these is just pure consciousness, which is neither nor. So they would say that this is kind of the central condition that you want to put yourself in. But you're talking about a different condition, maybe, where you feel love and you hold on to love. So how do you think about these two ideas together?
Well, love is not an emotion. Yeah. True love is not an emotion. It is not coming and going. When the love is based on what I call heat, especially with the men, yeah, they confuse heat with heart. Yeah. But in fact, they are just in the heat. It comes from down. Yeah. It is not coming from the heart. But the heat comes up and somehow touches the heart. And so it mixes. You know? And in time, maybe they learn to be in the heart. But love has no condition. So it is not an emotion. It is a state. Yeah. And it is a state which is reflected in your heart. Because it is coming all the time to you. You are surrounded by love. Everything is penetrated by it. You are permanently covered with it. And when you come to that reality, you are just entering. Yeah. It is like you enter into an ocean. No? You are just surrounded by it. There is not anything else you see. There is not anything else you experience. There is just the ocean. No? But it's not really fundamentally different. It is not that you identify. Yeah? Emotion means always that you identify. You want to fix it somehow. You want to have it. You want to make it yours. But the state is something you're dressed with. Yeah. So sometimes you're dressed with love. Sometimes you're dressed with power. Sometimes you're dressed with compassion. No? There's not always one dress. There can be many dresses. According what you need also. No?
Yeah. And so when you aim to cultivate love, and I have read and I've listened to you that you have practiced different techniques, and you've gone a long way, and you cultivate love. But also, I'm sure, as any other human being, you find things within yourself which are not love. And so I think sometimes in spiritual practice, we can get this illusion that the idea is to suppress everything that doesn't seem spiritual and that doesn't seem beautiful. but then by suppressing it, we only make it angrier and we make it worse for ourselves. So how do you see this? How do you see the idea that we have to recognize that there are shadows within us, and do we embrace them? What do we do about them?
You have to understand that your personality lives in polarity. Yeah. So you have created an idealized image about yourself. That's the beginning. And then you understand that sometimes you are a nice person and sometimes you are the opposite. Yeah, sometimes you're generous and sometimes you are very greedy. Sometimes you are friendly, sometimes not. And the deeper shadows, like for example being a hypocrite, yeah, being someone who pretends permanently, who plays a role, no, and who tries to shine like this or like that, who is demonic, yeah, who is mean, who is sadistic, who is violent, who is aggressive, who is in lust, and so on. All these unwanted images, they are difficult to approach, no? And when we see them, we have the idea then that we can get rid of them. That we want to somehow get rid of those shadows or these images. But you cannot get rid of your personality, because the personality is your ego in a way. Yeah. It is what you created, it is what you set up, and what you reflect. It is your answer, yeah, which runs through your mind, and you set yourself up. You create it yourself. Yeah. And this is why you can only come out of it if you understand that you are the creator of it. And so you are also the one who is responsible. No? And when you understand that you are just absolute responsible, no, you don't need to blame anybody, you don't accuse anybody, you don't have enemies. You're just trying to understand how you function. How did you create all this? Yeah, and why did you do that? And one day you have seen all the aspects of your personality. No? And then you may be able to transcend it and to create a new one. No? And this is the process. Yeah. You have to allow yourself to see yourself. Yeah. That is not easy. No? Because you are continuing to create. For example, you say, I am meditating. Yeah. That is already a message. Yeah? You want to be seen as somebody who is special, who meditates, who is on the path, different from others, no? And that you are a little bit advanced and all this stuff, no? You want to show yourself in a certain role, in a certain image, no? And if someone attacks that, if someone says, you are a liar, yeah, you're not real, yeah, you are pretending, but you have the same problems like everybody else, yeah, and you will say, no, whatever. You come into a discussion, yes. So to see yourself, it needs courage, no, and it needs also guidance, yeah? Because if you do not have someone who has done that transformation, you can go in all kinds of directions and you can go in all kinds of deviations. No? From the 4,000 Buddhas, which we call them, in the history that they appeared, there was not a single one without a Buddha in front of him, without a master before him. All of them, without exception, had somebody to follow. Yeah. You cannot see yourself if you do not have a mirror. Yeah. How you want to know? So the master is the mirror, and In this way, you can understand.
Well, I think this is very important, certainly in your personal life, right? The relationship to your master. Can you speak more about that? Because, it's always very interesting to hear stories about people like your master. And I've heard you talk about him. And I've heard other people talk about great spiritual teachers and how even without words, their presence is transformative. So can you just talk a little bit about what it is like to have a master like this?
I see, when I met him the first time, I fainted in front of his feet. Yeah, I just collapsed. Yeah, and I've never fainted in my life before or after. Yeah, but seeing him was too much. No, and he was what we call a king. Yeah, there is some masters, or there is a group of masters, but not all of them are kings. Yeah. Among the masters, when they meet, when they know each other, there will be one that they say, okay, he is the one. Yeah. He's our leader. No? And he was one of those who we call a king. Yeah. King master. When a king enters in your life, you enter in his kingdom. You cannot prevent that. It is not something you can protect yourself. Remember the story of Jesus when he was walking on the lake of Nazareth, no? And they were the simple fishermen. They did not have any intention. They did not looking for anything. But he came by and he said, follow. Come with me. And the story is told like that. They were just dropping their nets. They were leaving their boats. They were not running home and saying goodbye to their family. They just went away with him. And after a while, of course, they were saying, okay, and now what we're gonna do? Yeah, what we are doing. And Jesus gave this fantastic answers, no? That he said, look at the birds. Yeah, they don't seed, but they eat. And look at the flowers. They don't know anything, but they have a dress. No? So just being in the presence of such a person, it is like you feel you come into the sun. Yeah, you are in the sun. You are all the time in the light. And when we had been with Maulana in Cyprus, once came a psychiatrist, no? And he was from Austria. And after a while, he was saying to me, I understand now what is going on here. All of you are under drugs. I just cannot find out which one it is exactly. I think might be LSD, or it might be something, like in this kind. But how he gives it to you, this I haven't figured it out. Yeah. And I understood perfectly why he said that. Because when you are with a king, you drink him, you eat him, you breathe him. You have no other thing to do. You just want to be there. That is the only plan you have. There is not any second plan. You just want to be in their presence. No. And there is not a choice that you can say, I want to do this or I want to do that. I have this plan, I have this career, I want to study. All this is cancelled. The moment you meet, he cancels your life. And he has this power, and he has also this authority to take your life in his hands. Yeah. This is not for everybody. And it's not something you can choose. It's something, it will happen to you or not. However, if you are ready to accept someone, no, then that person will enter in your life, no. And not everyone needs a king, yeah. But times are changing now. All the kings, all the big kings, most of them are gone, yeah. So we are in a transition time, as everyone understands. Nevertheless, there is a big confusion in the spirituality. There is too much information, too much wrong information also, and you have to be careful, no?
What are the dangers? What do you have to be careful about?
Well, the dangers are coming with yourself first. You are dangerous to yourself, yeah. If you look at the lives of people, you will find out that slowly everyone destroys himself, yeah. Because the ego is a suicidal system, and you can see this also on our planet, no? We are not able to live harmoniously. Since thousands of years, we have a continuous situation of wars, of killing, of destruction. Now with all the technology we have, with all the consumption we have, we came to a point where we talk about spirituality and our spaceship is in front of collapse, yeah. So we lost complete foundation, we lost complete connection, yeah. Earth consciousness is far away from us, no? For the majority, for the leaders, for those who are in power, no? And so we are dangerous to ourselves, yeah. I don't know if you have a girlfriend or you're married, and if you have one
girlfriend, yes.
Okay, maybe it was not your first one, yeah. So that means you have already a history, yeah, where you failed, yeah. Why did you fail? You must understand what was happening, no? What was happening that you could not stay with that woman, yeah. Then did she leave you? Most probably she left you, yeah. So she broke your heart, yeah, and you wanted to find an answer, no? You must look, what is the reason for your spirituality, no? If you are a woman, yeah, usually there's two reasons. One is they are looking for a man, or they have a man, but it is not really what they were looking for. So it is always in connection to a man. With a man is the same way, but just around. They had been with a woman, yeah. They wanted to give everything to them, and it didn't come out. It broke, yeah. And this wound, yeah, was somehow triggering this wish to understand, no. With money, most of the people in the West especially, there is always this connection, there is a relationship, it went bad, and they were looking for healing, no, healing the wound, yeah. So that is the beginning, yeah. So we are dangerous to ourselves, that is the danger. And that is why, if you have someone who is not dangerous anymore to himself, and not dangerous for others, yeah, that he is safe in the way that he is not going for your money, he is not going for your wife, he is not going for your position, yeah, then you can connect with that, yeah. Otherwise you drive around in your own cosmos, yeah. Look, you are living in a sphere, like a ball, yeah, and you every day you look into it, yeah, you go around in your mind, yeah, but you do not understand how you really look like, because you're looking all the time inside of yourself, yeah. So you must first understand who is yourself. What is the self you are staring at it? What is the self you are speaking to? Yeah.
There is something that I'm very interested that this plays such an important role in Sufism, and that you have devoted yourself to the spiritual path, and still you do have a family, and you live out in the world. You don't stay somewhere where nobody can see you and hear you. So I think that's, first of all, I'm really a fan of that. I really like that. But I wanted to ask specifically about relationships that do go bad. Sometimes it happens that marriages break, or relationships that have been very, very long. And when they break, one of the parties, if not two, can leave so brokenhearted that any hope, any faith in a true relationship can become extinguished, and they can lose, even the faith that something real can happen, let alone happen again, a second time for them. So what do you say to such people?
Don't give up. Don't give up. And there is not only one fish in the ocean. Yeah. There is many fishes. Yeah. Look, the relationship shouldn't be the center of your life. You must look where you want to put your energy. Yeah. If you want to really become free, you have to give everything into the vertical direction. So relationship is needed for many reasons. It is practical reasons also. But you have to give up the idea that the relationship will give you the happiness you are looking for. No. You can intensify processes through a relationship. This is what it's meant for. Yeah. When you come together, you show the other faces which you don't dare to show to any other. So the ones you love the most, they see the ugliest places inside of you, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we call the helpers. Yeah, they are your helpers. You call them in your life because without them you would not be able to see those faces. You will not be able to see yourself in these aspects. Yeah. But they trigger you and they can really pull it out from you. Right? And the other thing is you must ask yourself, what do I expect from a relationship? Yeah. What is it for me? What do I want in it? Mostly it is a physical thing. No? First of all. You have physical energies inside of yourself and they need to connect with other physical energies. No? So that's why I'm saying man is heat oriented. Yeah. They're looking for heat. While the woman, they are more heart oriented. No? So it's a very different situation. They also have heat, but very different. No? And you must be careful. The more relationships you have, the less chance you have to really awaken. Yeah. Because you will build up such a pool of memories and such a pool of connections, no? That it will be very difficult for you to go beyond that. Yeah. And in our societies, we are not taught about it. Yeah. The people look to the past, to the traditions, and they say this is old-fashioned, this is not anymore valid, because they don't understand what is behind. They only see the prohibitions, they only see the limitations, but they don't understand and the others cannot explain. However, in your life, you will find out, if you go on the road of permanent changing your relationships, that you will all the time move in this world, in this zone, no? And like this, you cannot really find the energy you need to really go beyond. Yeah. That is the biggest problematic. And it has caused so much trouble in the world. No. So I can say my master saved me in certain aspects. Yeah. But also he didn't prevent any mistake I wanted to commit. No. Because you learn mainly by mistakes. Yeah. You learn by falling. And to raise up, you have first to go to the other side. Yeah. You want to go to the light, you must first explore the shadows. Yeah. You must first find other polarity. Yeah. So relationships is a very complex matter, but at the end it is very simple. Yeah. You just have to know what you are looking for in it. If you feel half, and then you feel the other one is the other half, and you are together complementary, yeah, that is not the reality of it. Yeah. Because you are coming alone here, you will leave alone. Yeah. And there is a different way. It continues. Yeah. Finally, there is only one relationship you have, and that's with the source. Yeah. So many people have many imaginations. That is the problem. Yeah. They are thinking they are on a path, they are thinking they are loving, but it's just in the mind. It all happens in the mind. It's not coming down in their life. Yeah. In the moment your spirituality settles down in your life, that your life reaches to an order, reaches to simplicity, that means your practicing was valuable. It functioned. Okay? If not, if you meditate all day long, but you have permanently trouble in your relationship, it means nothing happened. Nothing is there.
Okay, there's another question now that you mentioned this. It is that I've been meditating recently. I mean, I'm just starting on my path. But still, the more I have done it, and, it's not just meditation, I become more and more interested in speaking to teachers and, reading and practicing and all of these things, and they work together. So the more I do it, the more rewarding it becomes. And it seems like it's, going up and up and up and up. But I'm just in the beginning of this process. And I wanted to ask you about your perspective, because you're much further. So how has the process been to you? Is it different for different people? I mean, is it always exponentially going up, or are there troughs, or how has it been for you?
Well, if it was just all the time going up, what is the point of this life? Imagine a movie, and in that movie you ask the people, how is it? Yeah, how are you? And they say, oh, it is fantastic. I'm meditating. I'm happily married. I have happy family, or I have happy job. Everything is happy, happy, happy. Yeah. And then the next one, again the same, happy, happy, happy. And the next one, happy, happy, happy. And the next one, happy, happy, happy. How long you gonna watch this movie?
Not very long.
That's the point. Yeah. So there is a dynamic, you cannot escape from it. We are living in the third dimension in this world. So we have a negative force, we have a positive force. Yeah. And we have a neutral. This is the three components of our material world, and also of the dimension we are living into it. So you're permanently first of all, in this duality, in this polarity. And your life shows you, your body is made like this. You inhale, you exhale. So you have all the time this polarity, inhaling, exhaling. You sleep, you awake. There is day, there is night. No? So there is never just a thing which goes up, 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 up. It cannot be. Look how your heart wave is. It's not like one peak and then up. No. It is this, that, this, that. You win, you lose. You are born, you die. You're born, you die. And so on. No? So it's about experiences. You have to make experiences. And all these experiences cannot be just positive ones. You need to know fear. You need to know sadnesses. You need to know rage. You need to know jealousy. All this. Otherwise, you will never understand yourself. Okay? How old are you now?
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
With 23, I was already married, and my wife was pregnant with our first daughter.
Wow.
When I came to my sheikh, he said, "You have to marry." I said, "Wow, Maulana, I am so young, I was not thinking ever actually to marry." He said, "Yes, you marry and you will have children." And it was never in my plan to have children. So when he said, "I have to marry," I was shaking. No, I was saying, "Oh God, to marry." Then he chose someone. No, and within 8 days, I was married. And then soon after came the first child. So I was a father with 24. And of course, this was not all easy. There was a lot of pressure. Because when a child comes, half of your life changes. That's how it is. So now you have this idea, I'm the owner of my life. I can do whatever I like. I have a girlfriend. We meet from time to time. Everything is easy. No? But that will not stay like this. Because you have to make experiences. You have to see yourself in many aspects. If you just run around by yourself and you cook your own soup, not learning from a cook how to cook, you can prepare some meal. But then you learn from a cook and you understand a lot of other things. So when you go in this idea, I take a little bit from here, I take a little bit from there, and you make your own self. What comes out of it? You just confirm your own. You can never go beyond that. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot pull yourself out by yourself. It's not happening. As I'm saying before, there has not been a master without one over him. Be it invisible or visible, doesn't matter. That's something you need to understand, because there is only one source, one being, in reality. And all of that comes from him. He exhales and he inhales. So some people, they like to come back very quickly. Some people, they like to take a long path. It is up to them. Yeah. So you have an interest, you are searching. You have to understand what you are searching. Yeah. What do you search? That's important to understand. There's been an interview from a sheikh, I loved him very much. His name was Sheikh Musafa Osak. He was from the Khaywati Jarahi order. And he was a huge man. He was almost 2 meters. And also he was really big. In every aspect he was big. Yeah. And he came to a person like you, in America. And they asked him, "Oh Sheikh, what would be the first step if I want to become a dervish? Yeah, if I want to become a Sufi, what would be the first step?" And Sheikh Musafi looked at him, he said, "The first step is not to take yourself important." Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, he was already so shaken, he could hardly make the second question. Yeah. No. So, this is a very big point. Yeah. Self-importance. Yeah. Now you look at yourself out of self-importance. Yeah. At the end of the day, you don't care for anybody. Yeah. You look for yourself first. Yeah. And what can please that self, you want to attract it in your life. Yeah. Then you come to the place of servanthood. One day. Yeah. But servanthood means sacrifice of your own private life, of your own private plan. Yeah. You serve the king. The king is your plan. And that's what we practice, what you practice with a master. When you come in the spirit world, there is only one will. There is only one order. Yeah. Everything serves the king. Yeah. Everything and everyone refers to the divine, nothing else. There is not any other plan. Yeah. If you serve by cleaning the shoes of others, yeah, if that is your position, you will do it with all the passion you have. You will do it with all the happiness you have. Yeah. Because you understand, you see, you're in connection with the king. So it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. Okay. If nobody knows you, yeah, if no one ever will mention you, but you have that connection, you are really in connection, you don't care. No. If you're not in connection, you want to be reflected by everybody. Yeah. You want to appear. Yeah. Oh, I'm advanced. I am a searcher. I am whatever. No. Your title is the seeker for the seeker, no? Something like this.
Yeah, seeker to seeker, yes.
Seeker to seeker. Okay. One day, yeah, you have to find. Seeking is good, and it is your right to seek. But if you're thirsty, yeah, one day you come to the water. You have to drink. You have to find. Yeah. And when you find, all this fun of seeking is over. All these thousands of other possibilities are closed. You are now with one. Yeah. And the ego doesn't like that. It loves to seek. It loves to go here, loves to go there. Yeah. And it loves to mix everything, to fusion everything. Yeah. So this is where many in this world are. But you see, the point is not to fusion things. No. The point is to learn one thing, really. Yeah. Then from there you can see, they have it here, they have it there. But there is a reason why you are born in Bulgaria. You're from Bulgaria?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, Bulgaria. And many times I crossed Bulgaria, but I have never been really inside Bulgaria. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For Germans, when we hear Bulgaria, we think about gangsters.
Well, there's some truth to that, yes.
Two things: gangsters and the women choir. You know,
Women choir. Oh, yeah. It's
very famous Bulgarian women. They sing so fantastic. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. So seeking is one part. Then comes finding. Yeah, you find. Then you make the next step. Yeah. When you find, you come into the center. Yeah. You go deep. Right? Seeking means you run on the surface. Yeah.
Mm.
That is your right, because you are young, it is okay. Yeah. You must find your home. Yeah.
But at the same time, I do have to say that in my personal journey, there have been moments, sometimes during meditation, sometimes not, just casually, when I do have this exceptionally strong feeling of connection. I cannot really describe it very well, but I do have it. So it does. I definitely do feel that there is something real there. But you are right. I'm definitely not standing in one place. I'm constantly looking at different things. But there is this feeling that comes and goes, and in some way it is always there. I mean, I do feel throughout the day what fills me with purpose is essentially to serve God and know God in different ways. For example, one of the things you said in one interview, they asked you what's the most important mantra if you had only one mantra, and your answer was to say thank you, which struck me very powerfully because I hadn't said thank you in some time, and it felt so good. And now it's my new favorite thing. but yeah. So what I mean to say is that yes, a lot of the seeking is superficial, as you said, but then there is this something very real inside it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a second mantra for you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you must become your second nature. Yeah. You have to become thankful for everything. Then comes the next one. That is much more difficult. Yeah. And this is don't judge. Yeah. Don't judge. Stop saying I'm better. I'm righter. Yeah. When you can practice that, you will see that changes everything in your life. Yeah. But it's not easy, because judging is one of the things we do so much. Yeah. We do it permanent. No, we see a person and pop, is a judgment there. No? We judge our parents, we judge our presidents, we judge the whole world. No? So when you start to look at that, that is real work. Yeah. All this meditation you do, it's fine. Yeah. I'm not saying don't do it. But you see, meditation is a very high state. Yeah. It's not something which you can do from the beginning. In the old times, where these meditations were invented, the situation was totally different. People did not have girlfriends or any kind of, or playing all day long around with their mobiles, you know. It was a complete different man quality and a completely different woman quality there. Yeah. They were so much more aware of the simple things in life, no? Of the basics, how to behave, how to look into life. No? Now we are just dealing with basics. People have all different ideas about the most simple things, how to eat, how to go to the bathroom, how to walk, how to talk. Everyone has a different idea about it. It was not like this in the old times. Yeah. You would marry one time, finished. Yeah. Your parents would choose it, and you would happily agree with it because you were in love with your parents. You were in deep respect with your parents. Now the sons and the daughters are better than their parents. Yeah. They say, I want to become everything, but not like my father, not like my mother. No? So it takes a long time nowadays just for the basics. Yeah. Therefore, keep the thank you. No? Say thank you, my heart. Yeah. This is the first thing you have to say, thank you. Thank you, my heart. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. Yeah. If you can't honor your parents, you cannot make a step. It's essential that you work on those things, on these relationships. If you have a conflict there, then try to come in peace with that conflict first, because they carry half of your energy. Yeah. It's very essential that you learn to first bring order in this point. Okay? Because many things maybe you do because you want to be different than your father. Yeah. And you have to learn not to do things out of opposition, but of the truth which you find in yourself. Yeah. Yeah. Not to live because you react to something, but because you act. Yeah. You direct yourself. Okay? So, kissing the hand of your father is essential. Kissing the hand of your mother is essential. Yeah. That's what you learn with a master. Yeah. I was in total opposition with my father when I was in your age. And being with a master who is an Oriental man, you know, an Oriental father, yeah, they used a stick, you know. So my father, my real father, never beated me. But my big father, Maulana, he beated me many times, you know. And it was good. Because when someone beats you out of love, you feel trust, you feel intimacy, you feel to be taken care of. And many fathers, they are far away from their sons. No? They do not have this closeness like they have in the Oriental world or the Asiatic world, depends. Yeah. So this is why so many Westerners become spiritual. Yeah. But their reality is simply they're looking for a home. They're looking for a family. Yeah.
So, so how can somebody practice this respect and honoring of the parents if in some cases the parents do some horrible things and sometimes they do leave their children? So what would a person do if, let's say, their parent has left them or they have done something that's been, very terrible for them?
Yes. The thing is, it is written in all the books, no? Honor your parents, right? You find it in the Vedas, you find it in the Torah, you find it in the Bible, you find it in the Quran, you find it in all the holy books. Yeah. So I'm always saying to people, we are not honoring them for what they were as fathers and mothers, but for the simple act that they brought us here. Yeah. Because one thing you must understand, you choose your parents. Yeah. You came as a soul and you were asked in the other side with whom you want to be born. Yeah. Through whom. How you want to come in this world. What you want to be. Yeah. And so on and so on. And you designed it yourself. So you were looking in the ocean of souls. Yeah. Who would be a good parents for you? And you came back with these parents which you have now. And the divine was asking you, are you sure? You want those? You said yes. He said, no, you can be born as a prince. You can be born rich. You can be born in a fantastic situation. You want to be born in there? You say yes. He said, look again. Go again, look. Yeah. You go again, you look, you come back with the same parents. They ask you again, are you sure? You say, yes, I'm sure. Say, are you really sure? There can be masters. You can be born with a sheikh. You can be born with a Buddha. Yeah. Are you sure? You say, oh, yeah, look again. So you look again and you come back with your parents. Yeah. Then they say, okay, you go with them. No? So you choose these parents and even they do something, yeah, which is terrible or they're dysfunctional, there's parents, they become alcoholics, drug addicts, God knows what, yeah, criminals going in prison. There's so many options, right? But from an absolute point of view, you must understand that the soul just wants to looks for experiences. Yeah. It has to experience a lot of things to become whole, to develop, to be able to return back to the source. Yeah. Because nothing happens out of the will of the source. You have to understand that, Don't look to secondary causes. Everything is absolutely at every moment into the warmth of the divine happening. Yeah. It happens always with full consciousness. Yeah. That's why at the end you will say, what is this? How can be the divine? How can it be a loving source? Yeah. If there is babies from the beginning treated badly, tortured, even abused, how it can be a loving source? Yeah. But I don't want to explain the whole world now to you, yeah. But just going to the parents, because this is very important. No, you say thank you for the fact that they brought you here in this existence. Yeah. And now look at yourself. Yeah. Maybe you're not fine with everything your parents did. Okay. Probably not. But the result is that it called you to seek, that it called you to think, to look for. Yeah? That is the thing your father or your mother gave you. Yeah? You see, they didn't destroy you. Yeah, you're not someone who is completely crippled. Yeah, totally damaged, traumatized, whatever. Yeah, you are at least able to be got interested in music. You like things. You like a lot of things. You are interested in poetry. You are looking for spirituality. Yeah, you have friends you can share with. Well, there's a lot of things good in your life, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in the big scale, it has been through your parents. Even they were maybe not perfect parents. Yeah. But without that, maybe you would not have looked so early for someone. Yeah. That is the reason. Yeah. So try not to judge your parents. Okay. Yeah. Because what you're looking for, you must think and understand that your memory is not neutral, it's not objective. Yeah. You create a memory which fits to what you like to be memorized. Yeah. So whatever is a trouble with your father, with your mother, try to come to peace with it. Yeah. This is important. Otherwise, everything will be colored by this conflict. Yeah. Your relationship to women, your relationship to authorities, your relationship to life. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Sheikh, you mentioned another thing which is very important, and I wanted to ask your understanding of it, which is evil. It's, the more I've been thinking about it, there's new ways in which I see it, but ultimately it's always a bit of a mystery. So let's give a very personal example. My grandfather, he's now, God bless him, he's very old now. He's going to turn 90 this year. And I can see how old age is affecting him. So, he's losing his memory, he's losing his abilities to just live, his body is constantly aching him. And it's natural to wonder why such things are necessary. And this isn't a very extreme example. There are many more extreme examples of people whose whole lives have been destroyed very painfully without any seeming reason. So how do you understand this?
How do you connect that with evil?
Well, I connected with suffering.
Suffering.
Yeah.
Well, suffering is not for everyone the same. Yeah. It depends very much where you are inside of yourself, the way you suffer. Yeah. Ramana Maharshi, he had 2 cancers. Yeah. And did he look like he was suffering? No. Yeah. He was not. They operated him, I think, also 2 times. And for sure it was a very painful cancer because it was on the bones. It was a tumor in the shoulder he had. No. But, he didn't even mention it. Not one time. Yeah. What I know, he didn't even say one time, oh, look, I'm in such pain. No. Amachi, she's very sick. Yeah. She has all kinds of pain. Of course, she never moves anywhere. She sits all day long. Yeah. Hugging. Probably she eats not only the healthy food, yeah, Indian style. No. She is too much big now also. So in age, a lot of things coming and they give you pain. But I don't think that she really cares for that. Yeah. Because she lives in another state. Yeah. So the body, of course, is a problem. And as long as you have a body, you have pain. Yeah. With 23, no. You shouldn't. But when you reach my age, for example, you will have it. Yeah. There is no way out. One way or the other, you will have it. But it all depends how you live with it. Yeah. For some people, little pain is already a big thing, and they focus totally on it. Yeah. And it dominates their life. My mother, she had her hands, they were crippled, yeah, from arthritis. But she was never complaining one moment about it. Yeah. She just lived with it. And this is what you have to learn. You live with your pain. Yeah. And when you start to live with it, you integrate, you know. So you don't focus on the pain and you don't focus on happiness. Yeah. You focus in the middle, you know, on the 0 point. And when you understand that we are not important, yeah, we are so absolutely not important. We are so absolutely non-important that my master always was saying when they asked him, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm a zero. Yeah, I'm zero. And my product is to make zeros," he said. So, in respect to him, I call this the 0 point. Yeah. You don't identify here or there. Yeah. And when you become a zero, the one which is in existence can appear. Yeah. As long as you look for to be another one, you're always in separation. You're always somewhere else. Yeah. And life is an obstacle. When you become a zero, yeah, there is no obstacle. There's just challenges which give you joy. Yeah. But of course, age is not that so easy. Yeah. And we are humans at the end of the day. No? And this is what we have to learn. That we are weak, that we have weaknesses, and that the time is very short on earth. Yeah, very, very short. And that we just can learn little things. Yeah. For most of people, they just can make very, very little steps. No? That's how it is.
Yeah. The last thing you said, I connected with a personal difficulty which I have, which is again connected with this seeking. Mm-hmm. And it's that there's so many things I want to do, so many things I want to read, so many things I want to accomplish. And then at the end of the day, sometimes, I measure my days by how much I have done, how much I've read or how much I've written, or, just tasks. And then I find myself thinking, okay, this isn't what's truly important. You shouldn't put this first. But even so, I tell myself, oh, it's better to do these tasks because they're good. They'll be good for others. They'll be good for me. And sometimes it happens that I don't give enough of my time to close people around me just because I've given it so much to, I need to do this 30 minutes this, and then 2 hours I need to do that. And so I suspect this is common. It's not just for me. What comments do you have about that? About simplifying?
You want me to give you the whole menu, right? You want to have the whole menu.
Well, my question really is because sometimes it seems that there's so much to learn that you don't have time to waste. That's how I feel sometimes. There's just so much to learn and develop that there's no time to waste, no time to sit around. But then I realize that maybe that's mistaken, because maybe sitting around and doing nothing sometimes is the right thing to do. So anyway, what are your comments about this constantly chasing progress?
Make your life simple. Yeah. Look what is first. That is the most important. You must look what is first in your life. Yeah. What is first? What counts in your life first? Yeah. Then this is the thing you give more time. And then don't judge it. If your thing is you want to become a great guitarist, yeah, and that's it, then you have to practice every day 2-3 hours to really make it. Yeah. Okay. If your thing is meditation, then you practice this, you focus on this. You have to learn to see what is first. Yeah? What is your first thing that you give the most time? No? Then you need to know that people have rights on you. Yeah? Your girlfriend has a right. Yeah? You cannot say, oh, now I have little pressure, can you please come by and meet me, you know? Yeah? That's not a good idea. Yeah? She needs to feel that you have an interest, that you have also a focus on her, isn't it? Yeah. And you want to feel the same from her, so you have to give her time. No, that will go in conflict with other things, because you want to make 10 things in the day. Yeah, that's not possible. Yeah. Try one thing. One thing. In India, when you come to India, you will learn one thing, that you can make one thing in a day. Yeah. Because India is like this. If you want to move from here to here, it takes you hours. It doesn't matter how many kilometers it is or how little, it takes you hours. Yeah. You cannot speed it up. Everything takes you hours there. Yeah. So I always say to the people, when we're in India, we do one thing. Yeah. Not more. No. Once I was with a Chinese group, they wanted to make 10 things, no? Because Chinese like this. Yeah. They can do it. They can do 10 things. Yeah. But I said to them, no. You try it, but you will learn. So they were saying, okay, we go here. And then they found out, okay, to take the bus from here to here, it takes much more time than they calculated. No? So finally they said to me, okay, Sheikh, we do one thing. Yeah. All right? Do one thing, but this you do it, and you give your focus on it, and you give your attention to it. Okay? This is the most important thing. When you learn to focus, you can do other things, but you need really to focus, yeah, and not to do things at the same time. Yeah. Okay? So when you are with your girlfriend, stop looking at your telephone if you want to have a longer relationship. Okay? And the same for her. Yeah. If you can agree on that. Yeah. If she says, I have to look every 5 minutes minimum on my phone, okay. But something will be missing then. Yeah.
There's one more question I have concerning to what you just said, which is how important is formal practice to you, and to how important do you see it? Because I have spoken with different people, and a number of them say that it's become less and less important for them. Others say that it's still very important. And for me, I have found that if I meditate a few times per day, it builds up kind of a clarity, let's say, of consciousness. And then I have it for this day and maybe the next. And then next day, again, I meditate and then I maintain it. But I have a feeling that if, let's say, suddenly I stop meditating, it's gone. So do you still do formal practice? Do you advise people to do formal practice? So let's say take a number of minutes per day, every day, meditating or praying or doing something.
Well, I'm living in the Islamic tradition, yeah, and so this implies that you're supposed to pray 5 times a day. No, that's what I do. I keep that, but I keep certain things, of course, yeah, out of many reasons. Yeah. One is there is people looking at me, yeah, and you see, if you wanna transmit something, yeah, you have to make it reachable for people, no. And if I just sit and I would do nothing, yeah, and just dwelling in a certain state, yeah, then it is difficult to understand what was the process, how did it come, yeah. Look at Krishnamurti, for example, no? Krishnamurti was a very strong master, and I had the honor to meet him more or less in the age like you, a little younger. And it was very clear when he spoke, you felt very great in his presence, but he had only one kind of tool, no? And all the other aspects of life, how you deal with relationships or how do you deal practical issues, it was difficult, yeah, to understand. And this is why Rumi says a master cannot do anything for you, but he can do one thing. He can shorten the journey of 200 years to 2 days. Yeah. Okay. Like, that is what you try now. Yeah. You ask me all these questions because in a way they are your questions. No, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you will find out that it does not work like that. It's not about information. Yeah. It's not that you become clever. No. And you say, okay, now I do like this. Yeah. Yeah. You have to be ready for it. No? And that builds up. You have to go in zones which are scary for you. Yeah. It's like, look, you wouldn't go climbing up a mountain by yourself alone, yeah, on the Mount Everest, for example. Yeah, you wouldn't do that. If you have something left in your head, you will not just do that. Yeah. No. You will have to find some people who know the stuff. Yeah, who know how to behave in this mountain, when is the time to get the oxygen, and even you know it all theoretically, but you have never touched your foot inside a mountain. You don't know another dimension there. And this is how you are yourself in a mountain. Yeah. So when you are with somebody you trust and you go with him in the mountain, you can carry this fear. You can carry it easier because you have someone next to you. Yeah. And who can also say to you, look, here it is dangerous, but don't worry. The next step will be easier, for example. Yeah. So it saves you time. That's all. Yeah. It gives you just a possibility to progress faster, to process faster. Yeah. This is what happens. Yeah. Because it is the field. You're in the field, you know. It's a different frequency. It's just faster. Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
so there is not a manual. Yeah. There is not a manual. There is relationships. And you have to act according to relationships. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ya إله